You've been lied to your whole life by big fishing companies selling you on the ideas of what sushi grade is. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to make sushi from farm-raised salmon at home for a fraction of the price. And all you have to do is follow a couple of easy steps, listen to a stranger on the internet, and put your faith in the FDA. Or as much as you can, because the government sucks nowadays. Anyways, I'll go through the basics of how to make a roll, seared nigiri, and sashimi. This way you can impress your friends and most importantly, save that money. But first, let me explain how this is even possible because of how big shipping companies have been suckering you for paying more for less. The term sushi grade is a marketing term. In the US, sushi grade or sashimi grade is not a legally defined or regulated term. Now, think of it this way. It's like paying extra for organic food despite not knowing where it's really coming from or what that label really does for it, or anything really labeled superfood in today's market. Ain't nothing super in my food that I can't get from a vitamin with a Flintstone character on it. You feel me? There are no federal standards or official certifications that define what sushi grade means. High-end sushi or sushi grade fish is actually chosen for color, smell, fat content, and more importantly, the handling. So to put it simply, sushi grade just means this fish was handled safely for raw consumption, looks and tastes great. So why is Costco farm-raised salmon safe for you? That's because every millennial blindly trusts Costco and the internet. No, I'm sorry. It's actually because their previously frozen farm-raised Atlantic salmon has been frozen to FDA standard. I'll be showing you a couple steps to make your own homemade sushi grade salmon using this farm-raised salmon. It's just going to take an extra step to cure the fish and then freeze it to kill off any unwanted bacteria or unwanted guests. And stop freaking out. You do this at sushi all the time. Save some money, subscribe for future videos, and let's get into it. To start, let's get some previously frozen, farm-raised Atlantic salmon. Make sure you put a counter down below so we know how many times I've said that in this video so far. Give it a smell test, and you want this to smell fresh, not fishy. Ideally, talk to your Costco staff and ask when they got the fish to avoid getting fish right before the sell-by date. And if it passes the smell test, it's good to go. Onto a clean cutting board, lay out your piece of fish, and begin to cut into much more manageable pieces. You see this line that runs right across? This actually separates the loin from the belly and is where I'm going to run my knife right across. Repeat with the remaining pieces of fish, and it's time to cure this in a sugar salt mixture. I like to use 3/4 of a cup of sugar for every half cup of salt. Then just coat each piece evenly, and you cannot be too generous at this stage. I promise you, you cannot. Make sure to use as much as you need to make sure everything is evenly covered. It should look just like this. Then place onto a wire rack and see what's going to happen is that it's going to draw out a lot of moisture and firm up the fish, making it easy to cut into pieces, along with improving the taste. Rest this in the fridge for about 45 minutes and then rinse. You can do this under cold running water as well, but I'm doing this mostly to show you guys that I'm rinsing the fish. Then pat completely dry, cover in a fresh paper towel, and I want to be extra safe, so I'm going to vacuum seal this for 7 days to make sure nothing will get me sick. If you don't have a good vacuum sealer, I definitely recommend getting one. It saves me so much food, and link to this one and everything else I use in every video is always going to be down below in the description. Fish goes into the freezer and we wait a couple days. And that's it. Congratulations, you've just made buttery, delicious sushi grade fish. And I just doubled the value of your salmon faster than Pokemon cards can fly off the shelves. But it's time for the fun part, making everything I promised from simple rolls, nigiri, and sashimi. And by the way, if you've made it this far into the video and still haven't subscribed, okay. Look, statistically, one in every single one of you is probably not subscribed, and I would just really appreciate it if you did. Helps a really small channel like me continue to grow and make more recipes for people just like you. It's been 7 days, and it's now time to make our sushi, and hopefully not die. For the first one, I'm going to show you how to make a simple maki roll. If you're wondering, a maki roll is just where the nori is on the outside. Everything in this video is meant to be super incredibly beginner friendly, but I very highly recommend you get a razor sharp knife for the best results. Spread a seasoned sushi rice, leaving just a little bit off the top and the bottom edges, then sprinkle some furikake. Optional, but good. Some shredded carrots, some cucumber, and your fish. Be careful not to overdo it because then rolling will become much more difficult. Using a bamboo roller, carefully shape and roll. Cut off the edge because ugly, and cut into equal pieces for homemade sushi rolls. You have to drizzle over a little bit of eel sauce, a spicy mayo, garnish, and there you go. You are ready to serve. Simple, easy, delicious. Next, we have nigiri. These are gonna get easier, by the way. Watch my hands closely, copy as I go, and shape your balls. Cup your hands like so, and then with 2 fingers, stop. I know what you're thinking, gentlemen. Gently press over like this, and a cute little rice ball is formed. Get a few ready and lay over thinly sliced pieces of fish over the rice. Optionally, give it a light searing if you have a kitchen torch, and a light brushing of soy sauce on top. A bit of wasabi, and that's how you make seared salmon nigiri. So good, so easy. And finally, we have sashimi. Thinly sliced salmon, arranged decoratively. I have some fresh tuna, so I'm gonna add this just for some variety in color. Some thinly sliced red onion, a mix of mirin, soy sauce, and sesame oil drizzled over, and then garnished with green onion for the tastiest, cheapest homemade sashimi. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned a couple things. Let me know any questions you might have down below in the description. I'll make sure to try to answer as many of them as I can. But that's how you make sushi, nigiri, sashimi, and more importantly, how to cure your salmon at home to save you the big bucks. Subscribe and I'll see you on the next one, you bunch of nerds.